It's your boy, Just Dom, catching the day's latest news. What's going on around the roads? Find out here first at the TCP Newsbreak.
All right, good morning, guys, and welcome to the TCP Newsbreak. This is your host, Lady L. I am here with two of the organizers and founders of the African American Cultural Alliance here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And so I want to introduce them to you all, and I hope that you guys enjoy this interview. All right, good morning. Good morning. How are you guys today?
I'm great, and how are you?
I'm well. How are you today, Denisha?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. All right. So first, I just want to start off and I want to thank you guys for being with us today. And I also want to thank you for the contributions to the community. When I got here as a transplant from Philadelphia, I know that it seemed like the Black community was really like splintered and almost non-existent. So I definitely appreciate all the effort that you guys do. So can you just tell us what is the African American Cultural Alliance?
The African American Culture Alliance actually originally started out as the Annual Day Parade and Festival Executive Committee. We formed about 7 years ago, originally with only the focus about doing a parade and festival, focused on celebrating African American culture and history. And as years went by, we realized and we noticed that we end up planning more events than just the parade and festival. So we felt like if we changed the model of how we ran things and changed the name of our organization, we could have a greater impact of the African American community. So this year, our committee agreed to move under the format of the African American Cultural Alliance of Lancaster, with the goal of basically planning the same fundraisers, but using the profits that we get from these events to support Black and Brown organizations and businesses in the community. So basically, we would continue doing the work that we've been doing, but instead of kind of using the money to promote or do more events, we're just going to use that money to funnel back into the African American community to support economic growth. So we kind of like the Black version of the Community Foundation. That's our goal.
Awesome.
That's our goal.
I love it. Yes. And you know, people be just dropping dead over some of that funding that they have. So I am so appreciative that there is another organization that is sprouting up really to help with some of the philanthropic efforts of the Black community here.
Right.
Because there's a handful of Black organizations, and I mean, if we're all, you know, fussing over this one pile of money, sometimes we see that it's not fairly distributed.
Right.
So we need more supports. We need more economic supports. I think that is a fantastic idea. That is awesome. So shouts out to you guys. So can you tell us about some of the upcoming events? Annual Day was just like 1 week long event. So can you tell us how the events that you guys are curating now different, and tell us about some of the events that are coming up?
So the Annual Day Parade and Festival originally was supposed to take place around Labor Day weekend, but because of COVID-19, we couldn't get our permits approved. So as a committee, we had to come together and go back to the drawing board, and we figured, what can we do? And we realized that, let's be honest, we're in a time where there's a lot of, let's say, stress in the African American community with, you know, police brutality, COVID-19. So we try to figure where do our part play in the Black Lives Matter movement, celebrating and recognize African American culture. And we came together and we decided that we want to do a Black Business Expo. And we was like, why the Black Business Expo? Because I think a lot of people fail to realize this. Black economic growth is a part of Black Lives Matter. Black Wall Street is really Black Lives Matter. If you care about the Black community as you say you do, you will ensure that we have equal rights, equal economic growth, equal education rights. So we figured this was our role to play in this movement. We didn't have the manpower to organize protests. We don't have the manpower to organize events in that nature. So we figured, how can we play a role in this movement? And we figured this was the best way to support Black economic growth. So we're doing a Black Business Expo October 17th and 18th at Clipper Stadium. Currently, we have 45 Black businesses registered, and these are businesses from Philadelphia all the way to Baltimore, including Lancaster, Harrisburg, Hanover, and everything from food vendors to African Americans who own photo booths, who do party rentals, who own their own clothing line. So this is a variety of businesses that we can support economic growth. And we're doing a comedy show. And because the original goal and mission of us was to make sure that the Black dollar is circulating, the tickets that we are selling for this comedy show actually go benefits to Black organizations that operate in Lancaster, and that is TCP, one of them, and Spice of Life. So we figured, if this is our mission, let's kick off our first event under this name, providing the service that we say we're going to provide. So we want to definitely be intentional with what we do and say what we do.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. There's so many people with so much going on. Oftentimes people of color are like, oh, I want to get involved, but I don't want to protest, or, well, I'm this kind of person, or, well, I do these sorts of things. And I love it, because as I'm hearing you talk, I'm like, yes, brother, get in where you fit in, right? I don't have time to protest, but I can do something else. And I think that is phenomenal. And that's really the message that I'm really seeing just kind of sprout out with Black people in general. Just like Black people are really contributing to our communities wherever and however they can. I love the fact that you guys have hit the ground running with the African American Cultural Alliance. I love that I'm even seeing the advertisements for the comedy show kind of all over, definitely making a big splash. So kudos to you and the team for coming up with the marketing strategy and getting the funding together and the support so that you guys could do all of that. So my question is, my next question is, how can people get involved? Like, I know that you said that this kind of started with the annual day steering committee, and this kind of transition. So if I'm watching and I'm like, oh, this sounds cool, I want to get involved, how can people get involved?
Well, actually, good news is that we hope to, in January, become our own nonprofit. So currently, for the last 7 years, we've been operating under other nonprofits, and that's my part to blame, because I felt like there was a lot of nonprofits in the city, so we didn't need another nonprofit. But out of some coaching and some mentorship, people advise that you actually need your own organization so you could dictate where your money goes to and how your money operates. So we're actually building a board of directors currently. Denisha is on our board. She's our treasurer. I will be the chair, and hopefully we need to fill a position for vice chair, secretary, and board members. We hope to officially start in January as our own nonprofit. Now, some people are not built for the board. We do have committees. Of course, we're going to need the committee for the annual day parade and festival, which will go into change to the African American Cultural Parade and Festival for 2021. We are planning a pageant, and we are trying to do the Black Business Expo again next year. So they're going to be our signature events, those three. And then we're also doing the 100 People That Gives. And that motto is, we're just going to get 100 Black people together, all bring $100. So that's $10,000. And those people will vote on what business or organization gets that money. So with that, there's no stipulations. We're not creating red tape. You don't have to fill out an application. You don't have to do like all the stimulations, the struggles we go through to get grants. All it is, if your name gets pulled out, you do a 3-minute presentation on why you should get the money, and then the people vote. And within 3 days, you get $10,000. And that's for businesses and nonprofit. Our goal is to kick that off in February. So we're going to do that with February and do it in June because of Juneteenth. And we're going to partner with Denisha with her Spice of Life Foundation for Juneteenth next year. And Denisha can talk about Spice of Life and how Juneteenth, they're kind of like, they've been the Juneteenth people in Lancaster for the last couple of years. And I think that's important to recognize that a lot of people are trying to jump on the Juneteenth bandwagon when there's people who actually been doing it before it became popular.
Which is okay. If everybody, if people want to do separate Juneteenth events, it's great. It would just be more amazing if we could all get together as one to do something together. We started doing Juneteenth mainly because it was something my dad wanted to do because he didn't know about Juneteenth at all. And he was, right before he passed at 49, that was the first year he was going to do anything for Juneteenth and stop celebrating July 4th. So that's when we vowed, all right, from now on, no more July 4th. We're going to do Juneteenth, but we're going to do it for the foundation. And we're going to try to, inform as many people as we can. Don't just have to be African Americans, but as many people as we can about what Juneteenth is and what it stands for. And then just over a couple of years, then Vincent and I got together, and it just has grown, and hopefully it continues to grow so that we can keep on spreading the word.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm hearing a lot of our heritage coming from the both of you, so that's so empowering. And even just hearing about the economic development that you guys hope to do and bring to the community, that's Ujima, that's Kwanzaa. These are the things that, that we've been learning. And as adults, you guys are really taking those tools and putting them together and then sharing them with our community. I think that is fantastic.
I do want to bring off of what you guys were talking about. You said something about how can you get involved. It doesn't have to be as extravagant as getting involved with being a part of a board or a committee. If you want to get involved just by coming and helping with setting up or cleaning up at one event, but not be a part of a committee, you can be involved. Like, you can sign up. You don't have to sign up. It can be as involved as you want to be. Some people don't have a lot of time for each event, but you can come to one. If that's what you can do, what you're hearing it over this or you see it on Facebook, come out and volunteer. You don't have to be at every event or be on a board committee to give back to your community.
That's fantastic, because I know some people, they think that they need to kind of like commit so much time and activities and things when they get involved. So that's nice to hear. Like, if you just want to show up and volunteer and just help us clean up, that's fine too.
Right.
All right. Do you guys have a website where people can contact you all on, or how can people get in contact with you?
So currently, website we're building it, but you can contact us via Facebook, which is African American Culture Alliance of Lancaster. Instagram is AACA Lancaster, or Gmail, AACA Lancaster at gmail.com.
All right. So, as far as people getting involved with the board of directors or on some of your committees, is there an application process? Is there something that you guys are looking for? Are you looking for certain types of folks with different skill sets or things of that nature? Like, what are you looking for your board members or committee members?
We'll take, the one thing about the Annual Day Executive Committee and the now African American Culture Alliance is that these are grassroots community people. They're not an executive of a bank. They're not the president of an organization. These are everyday community people who are committed to see change in their community. And I feel like them kind of people who are genuine about seeing positive change in the African American community are the kind of people we want. We don't need people who kind of carry their title to a meeting and, I'm the president of, let's say, Food and Bank, so I gotta have this way. We want people who are genuinely concerned about the community and about improving the African American community.
And also committed to whatever it is that you're saying you're going to do.
Awesome. I understand that part. I know it's difficult, especially when you're asking people to, you know, be passionate about something that they're not getting paid for. And I think that over time, passion has been equated to prosperity, right? So if I'm passionate about it, I get paid for it, or I get a lot of money. But I was brought up, you know, find something that you would do for free and find a way to get paid to do it. Right. So I went out and got a degree in social work because that made sense to me. Right. So that makes sense. Something I would do for free. I counsel people and kids and children all day long for free.
Something you're passionate about.
Right, exactly. Even when I'm trying not to be, it just like creeps up on me, and I'm like, dang it. You're like, I don't want to do it, but your inside be like, no, you gotta do it. You gotta give it. It fills you up. It fills you up. It helps to reinvigorate you.
And it's not work no more.
Right.
You enjoy doing it. And that you know, it's different. Trust me, it's different when you enjoy doing it.
Well, Ms. Tanisha, Mr. Vincent, do you guys have anything else you want to share about the African American Cultural Alliance?
I do want to give a shout out to the sponsors of this year's event. Because of COVID-19, we thought that, you know, it was impossible to pull something off. But Food and Bank, Lancaster Toyota, the Lancaster County Democrat, Janet Diaz for State Senate, Scott Martin, Cam Automotive, and Ishmael Smith Waddell all stepped in and supported the event. As people know, we're doing it at Clipper Stadium, which was not free. We paid for the stadium. We also paid for the movie night. We paid for the comedy show. So without these people, none of this would be possible. So we greatly appreciate their support and their belief in what we're trying to do.
But we also need the support of the community who says that there's nothing to do in Lancaster for people who look like us. If you say there's nothing to do for people who look like us, you're not looking for something to do because it's all over your Facebook, it's all over your Instagram. There are people who are putting things together for us to have different things to do, whether it's stuff like this, whether it's formal ball gown type of affair type things, whether it's come out like Juneteenth and enjoy your family with music and everything else. We have plenty of things that are going on. We can't say anymore that we can't get together with the people who look like us and have a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I also think that I think that your organization will be something great that can help bring us all together, because there are Black people out in the county, out in the different township areas. And it's easier for us to kind of communicate because we're in the city together. But, you know, for our brothers and sisters that are out in the county that really don't know, that moved out here from New York and that really don't have any connections, or moved here from Philly and don't have connections, and they're out in the county and they're like, you know, I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. So hopefully we can all find a way to reach out to those families and kind of bring them into this community that we are all building together. Because we're all having these conversations and we are all picking up our torches and we are contributing to the advancement of our people where we can. And this is fantastic. So I want to thank you guys for joining us today. And again, people can reach you on Facebook, on Instagram.
Right, African American Cultural Alliance of Lancaster on Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, AACA-Lancaster@gmail.com. You can see our marketing, our posters. Just give us a shout out. Come visit the Black Business Expo at Clipper Stadium, October 17th and 18th. There's a comedy show October 16th. And I forgot we're playing Black Panther October 17th at 5 p.m. at Clipper Stadium too.
Awesome. All right, guys. So this interview is concluding. Thank you, Mr. Derek Smith. Thank you, Ms. Tanisha Gantz, for joining us on this TCP Newsbreak. Guys, stay tuned for more TCP in the morning.